You know, we have a problem with inflation. When I went to Cane's, you know, the fast food, and I bought the 3-chicken combo, the 3-finger chicken combo. 3 small little pieces, just like this. Just like this. I think they were longer before, but, you know, just like this. And these are the amount of fries. That's the amount of fries they gave me. And the piece of bread, you know. So a little bit bigger, you know. But I think it used to be bigger. Like, this is like a rectangle. It used to be like a square. Like, it used to be different. Like, I know the world's coming to an end. And I know there's inflation, but damn, like, I just paid like $11 for this. I could have just went.
How much is too much to spend on fast food? A recent study found 78% of people view fast food as a luxury. Fast food prices depend on where you live. Here in Connecticut, this tweet went viral last summer over an $18 Big Mac meal. The McDonald's president recently released a press release saying this $18 meal is an exception. McDonald's says the average cost of a Big Mac is $5.29, and that's up 21% from its price in 2019. The McDonald's president wrote in that press release, inflationary pressures have affected all sectors of the economy, including ours. McDonald's is launching a $5 meal deal this month. What fast food do you think is the best value these days?
This isn't my typical restaurant content, but it does involve a fast food restaurant. So honestly, today I'm in a mood. I am in a mood. So in order to kind of, bring it down a little bit before I go to work, I decided to stop at McDonald's and get some comfort food. I've been a nugget girl since I was born, and I'm going to be a nugget girl until Jesus decides it's time to introduce himself, okay? So I ordered online just to make it easier for myself. Went up to the speaker, the young lady was really nice. Went to the first window, that young lady was really nice. Pulled up to the second window, she was even more nice. Not only that, my entire order was correct. Not only was my order correct, all my sauces were in the bag, and I'm going to get to the sauces later. The food, amazing. The nuggets, crisp. The fries taste like the potatoes roach from Idaho themselves. The Sprite executed me extra good today. Right? Now, with being a nugget girl, I'm not really a sauce girl, so I only do barbecue sauce ever. I tried anything else. Today I was like, the sun is shining, what's the worst that can happen? So today I got 2 barbecue sauces just in case, and I also got a sour sauce. Now, why do y'all tell me sweet and sour sauce so good? Oh God, it's amazing. I never knew this. 36 years, and I have never sweet and sour sauce on a nugget. Why didn't y'all do this? That 5 experience really changed my whole. I hope that everybody in the rest of the country, especially the in that 50 side, has just the best shit of their life. Okay?
I'm sorry. When did McDonald's become $30 for like 4 things? I mean, I'm blown away. Like, literally, you could order a double cheeseburger for maybe like $2 and get 3 of those, and maybe you're at like $10. But I'm sorry, $30? I literally, my order from Longhorn the other night, I got a salad, I got Parmesan crusted chicken, I got bread on the side, and the shrimp. That was $32. And that was like a full course meal. And I literally just got a few things from McDonald's, and it was $29. I'm blown away, and I think that's just simply outrageous.
You get stuff for $1. The cheeseburgers that we got used to be $1, and now the meal was like $10.
Nobody wants to pay like $20 a meal for just a single person. So then the family of 4 is gonna spend how much? $80 on eating out? Yeah, not doable. Realistically, not doable.
All right. Realistically, though, a lot of California restaurants, not all of them, maybe some of the bigger ones, are going to have to fork over $20 an hour as a new high wage begins to grip the state. Some are welcoming it, others not so much. Scott Roderick is probably in that latter category. The California McDonald's franchisee. He owns at least 18 McDonald's restaurants in Northern California. Now, that would be a cool thing to have. Scott, very good to have you.
Good morning, Neil. Thanks for having me on. On Monday, thousands
how does
of
this work for you? Tell us how this works for you. You're not part of this?
Well, this new minimum wage that comes on board on Monday unfairly targets 15,000 franchise restaurants across the state of California. The vast majority of these restaurants are family owned and operated, like my restaurants. And I underscore family owned because franchisees are not large global corporations. The restaurant brands that we franchise might be national in name, but franchisees are local business operators. So what is going to happen on Monday, April 1st, is unprecedented, let alone extraordinary, not only for California, but for any state of the union. A 25% mandated wage increase overnight targeting a single subsector of one private industry has never, ever been done before. You've reported on your show in years past, historically, many studies have been done by cities and they promulgated living wages with annual CPI bumps, like in San Francisco, which is a great example where I opened my first McDonald's restaurant. But the increases were phased over time, then subject to inflation. It was a process that could be planned for. It was fair to employees and fair to people who create the jobs. But this particular massive overnight government mandate on wage is extraordinary and unprecedented. The other unprecedented
what are you going to do now, Scott? I'm sorry to jump on you there, but what are you going to do?
Right. Well, that is the question that all of us franchisees in California are asking. And so instead of lamenting bad legislation, I need to look forward. Obviously, price has to be a consideration, but I can't charge $25 for a quarter pounder with cheese. So I've got to look at every option for business survivability. I've got to be aggressive in seeking labor efficient growth. I'm going to have to explore more digital and delivery avenues. I'm going to obviously have to make, like any small business owner, harder choices around big capital expenditures. Things like, can I postpone remodeling a dining room? Can I put off investing in a new grill? Should I even open a new restaurant in California against these headwinds? A lot of people have asked, the obvious is the move to cut labor or to reduce staff. But frankly, in my organization, that is the very last thing that I want to look at. People are my greatest asset. It's been that way in my organization for 30 years. So I need to improve my operations by building market share and look at every stone unturned to find solutions to surviving this awful, bad legislation that befalls 15,000 restaurants only in California on Monday morning.
So when the governor's office comes back and says guys like you with let's say 18 McDonald's restaurants under your ownership can afford this, you say?
Well, guys like me are an army of small business owners throughout the state that create jobs. The fact of the matter is, in the state of California, 2/3 of all new jobs created are small business jobs. And 50% of folks that work in the private sector work for a family-owned business like me. So I would ask the governor and legislators to spend more time understanding what job creators go through to not only open a business, but to sustain a business and to create this unfair playing field specifically targeted to the franchise community in California blows up any concept of fairness in the scheme of operating in the state of California.
Well, keep us posted on all of this, Scott. Thank you very much. Scott Roderick. Again, this new wage is $20 wage, up from $16. Goes into effect for a good many, more than half of restaurants in the Golden State. We'll keep you posted on that.
Stop blaming it on inflation and start calling out corporate greed. Menu prices at fast food restaurants have outpaced overall inflation. New data from Finance Buzz shows McDonald's, Popeyes, Taco Bell, Chipotle, and Jimmy John's have all raised prices by 60% on average between 2014 and 2024, nearly double the rate of overall inflation. The menu items that have increased the most include the McChicken, McDouble, medium fries, and the quarter pounder with cheese meal from McDonald's, the 4-piece chicken dinner and popcorn shrimp combo from Popeyes, and the beefy 5-layer burrito, chalupa supreme, and cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell. The data isn't perfect since Finance Buzz is using the average cost of 10 different menu items instead of the full menu, but official data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics paints a similar picture. Fast food prices have increased 47% since 2014, outpacing the overall rate of inflation of 31%. For more daily business videos, make sure to follow.
Apparently, McDonald's is now becoming a luxury place to eat. Makes no sense to me. I've never eaten there, so I don't understand this. The article that I'm reading says that it's now $3 for a single McDonald's hash brown. Apparently, there used to be a dollar menu, and people are upset about this because it's officially now cheaper to eat at home than feeding your entire family at McDonald's. People are pissed about this because that was a way for them to inexpensively feed their larger families if they needed to. Now we're charging $3 for a potato. It's literally just a potato. The problem is that people are still going and paying for these prices, so it's not going to go away. The fact that inflation is causing fast food to be luxury is going to take me out. Customers are the reason why this is still a problem.
So last night, me and my friends went out to the bar, and before we got home, we were like, well, let's DoorDash some pizza. So it's already waiting for us when we walk through the door. And there's 6 of us, so I get that we got like a fair amount of food. Like we got 2 large pizzas and a thing of garlic bread. And then obviously we had to pay for delivery fees and tip on top of that. But for that amount of food, I just want you to think in your head, like 2 large pizzas, garlic bread, tip and delivery fees. I want you to think of a number in your head because I guarantee you it's not right. $89, $90 is how much it costs us to have 2 pizzas and garlic bread delivered. And yes, divided by person, that's only $14 a person. But like it's quick service pizza. Like it's not like we're having, you know, an actual like sit down meal anywhere. Like, and I get like people have to make their money. Obviously I tipped well and that's part of it, but it's insane for me to fathom a world where 3 items cost $90. And I get that part of that is the DoorDash fees, but it literally just blew my mind.
All right, so nearly 80% of consumers believe that fast food is now a luxury item because of how expensive it has become. So about 70% of people believe that fast food should be cheaper than sitting down at a restaurant or eating at home. And most people say in this case, it's not. And 22% of people are actually saying that it's more expensive to go to a fast food restaurant than an actual sit down restaurant. What's more interesting, the survey found that 44% of people have been asked to provide tips to fast food restaurants as well. Something traditionally that they don't get that usually happens at an actual restaurant, not a fast food chain. Then along comes surge pricing. If you haven't heard of this, this is where a company decides on a digital menu, not the hard menus that, you know, we grew up on, these digital computer menus, they can change the price of food depending on how many customers and how busy they are. So this would be an example at Wendy's. Now they said this was taken out of context. They would only lower the prices during, you know, slower times, and bring them back to the normal prices when, you know, they were normally busy, right? But this would be kind of like the idea if you were kind of ordering a burger from Wendy's. At one point it would be $7, another point it would be $5, depending on what time of day you showed up during Wendy's and how busy they were. That's considered surge pricing. If the price surges up, or as they consider it, surges down when they're slow. That's how they reword it for us all. Now, according to Finance Buzz, the prices at fast food chains since 2014 have gone up between 39% and 100% when the inflation has only gone up 31% during that same time period. As you can see, the biggest offender, McDonald's 100%, Popeyes 86%, you know, and going all the way down to Starbucks being the lowest at 39%. Now, in the survey, they also ranked which fast food chain they believe to be the number 1 in terms of high end. That award went to Chick-fil-A, my favorite restaurant as well, followed by Starbucks and Chipotle and McDonald's at 16%. The least popular choice on the lowest scale was Dunkin' Donuts at 1% of people saying that they are high end. I enjoy their iced coffees myself, but otherwise I don't go to them. I'd rather go to Krispy Kreme for donuts. Say that there are signs that things might be improving as McDonald's brought back a $5 value meal and Wendy's actually launched a $3 breakfast meal. But time will tell if we can get these prices back down to it.
Now, after a year and 3 weeks, it is now time to say goodbye to the Big Mac. I bought it on the 2nd of February, 2023, and it's now the 23rd of February, 2024, and there is no sign of mold. But before I chuck the Big Mac, I'm going to start the second half of this experiment. And that is, as you can see, the lettuce after a year is still green. So I'm going to pull the lettuce off. As you can see, very much still green. And if you can you see the shine on my gloves? There's still some kind of moisture in it. It's not dried out. You can see the green on this piece of paper. And let me see if I can get some color. I don't know if you can see. This is a lettuce that is an actual year old. In fact, I'll probably end up going to keep this lettuce to see how long it takes. So this lettuce from this Big Mac is a year and 3 weeks old and is still retaining its color. That is actually quite a serious deep green. So what I've decided to do, I'm just like, is this to do? Because I'm going to pull another one off, which is white. I don't know. What I'm going to do is I have decided to buy, I'm going to take these gloves off, a salad from McDonald's. So this is the salad, the side salad from McDonald's, which has got some onions, a tomato, etc., etc. And I want to see whether the fact that this lettuce didn't, where did I even put it? Yeah, still on paper. That this lettuce didn't go brown after a year and 3 weeks. Is it to do with the lettuce or is it to do with the environment in which the lettuce was in? So here is my plate. I'm now going to put the side salad on here, move it around. I might actually put it on a bigger plate. And I want to see what happens to this salad. How brown it goes, how fresh it stays. So I am going to leave this on another bookshelf in my house just to see how long it takes, because quite frankly, this lettuce is a year and 3 weeks old and yet has retained its green and still has a bit of moisture in it as well. It's not completely dry. It's still nice and floppy. For me, people, oh gosh, people tell me how that is possible. How a lettuce that is not connected to the roots, that has not been watered, has not been out in the sun, has managed to retain its colors. Even lettuce that is still growing, if it doesn't get the right conditions, it goes brown. So yeah, sorry, I've just managed to pick it off the floor. So this lettuce, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually probably going to keep this on the paper to see what happens once I've moved it from the burger, because I don't think it's normal, and tell me whether I'm wrong in this, that a lettuce that is not connected to anything, is been cut up, is out in the house. There's no sun. There is no, I have not watered it in any way, shape or form, has still managed to retain its color. And yet we have lettuce that is growing, and look, yeah. So I've decided to get the salad itself, to see how long it takes for this salad to brown and to show the signs of, deterioration. Yeah, so let's see what happens, because even the tomato in the plant just dehydrated and didn't do nothing. So I'm going to leave it by itself and see what happens with that. But yeah, I really think that's crazy. It is so crazy. Look at that. See the green on my shirt, green on the paper. It's really crazy. I think it's really crazy. So yeah, let's just say goodbye to the Big Mac, but thank you very much for the lessons. And yeah, as always, oh, why am I doing this to myself? No mold. Oddly enough, there is some shining oil looking thing. I don't know if you're going to see it on the camera. But yeah, the lettuce still looks good. Everything still looks good. So yeah, bye Big Mac. This is a year and 3 weeks old.
I don't get fast food very often, but I left my lunch at home. Please don't health shame me. I was starving and I'm not going to skip a meal at this point in my life. Okay. Got the OG McDonald's. How much do you think my meal was? I really want you to make a guess, because maybe I'm just out of touch because I don't get fast food often, but I was shocked. Okay. I've already eaten it, a regular fry, a McChicken sandwich, the value little chicken sandwich, and a Diet Coke. It is a really good Diet Coke though. How much do you think that was? I'll give you a second. It was $9.30. Is that not crazy? If I'm remembering correctly, that used to be a $3 meal. It was like $1 for the fry, $1 for the McChicken, and $1 any size drink. Do I sound like a really old person? I don't know. It blew my mind.
Is it me or is McDonald's overpriced? I am getting a 6-piece nugget Happy Meal for my 4-year-olds. And then I decided, well, let me split a meal between my older son and I because the meal is $5. And the $5 meal comes with a McDouble, it comes with 4 nuggets, and it comes with fries and a medium-sized drink. Meanwhile, the Happy Meal is 6-piece nuggets, a small fry, and a medium or a small Coke, kid-sized Coke, for $7. What is going on? What is going on? I'm going to start taking these boxes, you know, the boxes that they give the Happy Meals in for your kids. I'm going to start taking the $5 meals and I'm going to start putting in that. You got to think smarter.
Can I please get one large Diet Coke? Would that be it? And then I'll do a large fries as well, and that's it. So just a large fry and a large Diet Coke? Please. $9.78. Thank you. $9.78.
Not to pick on Chick-fil-A because we love Chick-fil-A, but it was $41 for 5 of us to eat. Ooh, 41. And that's 3 kids meals and 2 adult, meals. And you're just like, okay, $41 at the grocery store could buy 4 to 5 meals